He is an actor, a director, a singer, a host, a show business professional with a career that goes back 40 years, you guys. And if I may say, a smile that just lights up the room. Ladies and gentlemen, Alfonso Ribeiro joins us in studio here on KROQ.
Right now, the audience can't see the smile, but it's still here.
Yeah,
It's still here.
electrifying.
Let me tell you guys something about Alfonso and why I was so excited to. When
You
we
made
found
me
out,
too excited.
Seriously, when we found out we had the opportunity to have you on to talk about your new season of your game show, Catch 21, I said, oh my God, we have to have Alfonso on, and here's why. Because very few people in this world create instant happiness when they walk into a room. When people meet you, and I'm sure this is your experience all the time, people are never not happy to see Alfonso Ribeiro show up at a place, right?
It typically does. You're absolutely right. Typically, I get the automatic, like, hey!
Yes!
You know, it just the
What's
voice.
that like? Tell us what that's like.
Well, it's life, I guess.
Okay.
But, let me share my wisdom.
Please.
No. I just, you know what? I think, like, for me, I'm a happy person.
Right.
I live my life to the fullest. I am a glass half full kind of guy. And so I just walk through life going, I recognize how lucky I am. And I don't forget that. I just kind of go, you know what? I'm able to do what I love to do.
What do you do on days when you're super bummed?
I don't go out.
You don't go out.
This way, nobody gets to not see it.
Nobody gets bumped, right?
Yeah,
Just
Ali,
staying in
tell me if
today.
I'm wrong. You know who Alfonso reminds me of? Is a young Mr. T. Because Mr. T is exactly the same way.
Oh, the
He is.
same attitude.
Yes, but
yeah.
I'm a fool.
Oh,
Yeah, but you do have 500 gold chains on right now. And that
So much just
that
weighing
does
him
make
down.
it easier
Weighing
to see
him
it.
down.
Yeah.
Did not expect that.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
When I said that you have a 40-year career, I guess I didn't realize you were in show business at like 8, right?
Yes, 8 years old. So I just turned 48. So yes,
That's insane.
This month, starting this month, was my 40th anniversary. I did a PBS TV series called Oh Yay Willie in New York at 8. And so 40 years later,
Yay Willie.
I'm still here, rocking, pushing, enjoying, and loving every minute of it.
What'd you do as an 8-year-old on that show?
I played this character, Pee-wee, as it just makes total sense that I
you
played
weren't
Pee-wee.
old man
Yes.
Alfonso?
No, I was Pee-wee.
At 8?
The interesting story is that I went for the audition for the lead character's best friend, and I was so much shorter than him that it was like, this will never work as this guy being your best friend, because on camera,
He
like
was
if
a
you make a
hiatus.
2-shot, it's just not a 2-shot.
Okay.
It's a full
You're
body
barely-
shot
you're barely
with
there?
me down here and him up there. But they were like, this kid has such great energy and he's good, and so let's just create a role for him. And so they created a role called Pee-wee, and they hired me to be on there, and I just, I did all 13 episodes, and
Your
it was
first
fantastic.
ever role was created for you because
for
they
me.
just dug you.
Yeah, they were like, we like this kid. Let's give it to him.
Did your parents see something in you and push you towards show business, or did you go to them and say, Mom and Dad, I need to entertain?
You know what? I was always just entertaining, and my parents saw it and said, we need to do this.
Cash in on this
Well,
dude.
well,
Yeah.
actually, my aunt, my dad's sister, was on a show. Some of us old enough would remember this, but a show called Laugh-In.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God,
Which
yeah.
is in the 60s
Legendary.
and 70s, and she
Yeah.
was a dancer on Laugh-In.
Oh.
My grandfather on my dad's side was a calypso singer called Lord Hummingbird, and he traveled
That's awesome.
the world
Yeah,
as a
this is
calypso
all I'm
singer.
interested in now.
So this was like, my dad grew up seeing
Lord
both his
Hummingbird.
dad and his sister,
Yeah.
both entertainers, and my mom actually has the most angelic voice I've ever heard.
This seems like there's too much good in your family.
If she could
Yeah.
come out of her shell, if she came out of her shell as a young woman, she would have absolutely been a recording star. But she just literally, her shadow scares her.
Oh, I
So,
thought you were going to say she lived in
know,
the shadow of Lord Hummingbird,
What-
which we all do, really.
We all
Yeah.
do.
Did Lord Hummingbird insist you called him Lord?
No,
Okay,
no,
all
it was
right.
just Grandpa.
Okay.
But
Alfonso, so was there a rush to cash in on your cuteness? Because, a lot of those child stars, man, they hit 12, 13. All of a sudden, they ugly.
yeah, well, the good thing for me was I never got ugly. You see?
Yeah, you stayed adorable, right?
All right,
No.
okay.
What's that like?
Hold on. But
So
it was just one of those, like, I was always performing anyway, and my dad was like, "Well, let's give him an opportunity to do it, right? Let's
Were
let
you
him do it for
driving them
fun."
crazy, and they just said, "Let's let him do it
put
somewhere
him over
else"?
there. Put him over there. I had 2 older brothers. It was like, let's give him something to do that isn't disrupting the entire family. And it was, look, it was clearly the right decision, and I thank my parents every day for this.
You're born into it, and how did you end up on Broadway at the age of 12?
Well, there was the show actually put out auditions, the casting call for it, and I didn't know how to tap dance. So we were like, well, we're not going to go in for this. So our agents was like, hey, put you in on this. We were like, well, we don't tap dance. Why are we going to go in? Let's not waste our time. Then they couldn't find any kids. So they put the word out to the actual grade schools in New York.
In the area.
Looking for kids. And the principal at my school was like, we've got a kid we think would be great. We didn't even know that it was the same thing and went down for the audition. They were like, well, can you dance? I was like, no, I don't tap dance. Well, can you just show us some moves? We'll put on some music. And I just started dancing. They were like, we think we could teach you.
What?
And that's it.
This is the most charmed career I've ever heard of.
Absurd.
And so they taught me how to tap dance.
You
Which
auditioned
is
for
not
the tap
easy.
dance kid,
Yes.
and you didn't know how to
Didn't
tap
tap
dance, and they
dance.
said, you're in.
If I
You're
find
in.
out that he got Fresh Prince by walking into the wrong room, this is over. I can't stand his luck.
Well, I will say this, the luck almost turned because when I did get the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Warren Littlefield, the then incoming president of NBC, was like, after we did the pilot, I don't like this kid.
Is that
Let's
right?
recast him.
Is that the first time that's ever happened to you?
Pretty much, yes. It was the first real negative. No, but like he went to recast, and they actually put out casting. They did. They brought people in. Luckily, the executive producers and Will and Debbie Allen, who was the director of the pilot,
And you had already
all
worked with
kinda
Quincy Jones in the past, right?
I'd not worked with him, but I knew him,
yeah.
right? I was friends with Will. Everybody kept saying we got to go through this process, but we still believe in you.
Yeah.
And then after we did the 6th episode, Warren Littlefield came on set and he said, I'm so happy that I got this wrong.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
and
all
I
right.
didn't push
So you're
because
Carlton
you've done a great
Right.
job.
Yeah.
And
Did
and,
Aunt
and
Viv say there's no way we're recasting anyone in the show?
Did Lord
Really?
Hummingbird make a
why,
call?
Why are you going there?
I don't know. It was too much.
We cool. Why
I know.
you
It was not okay.
don't mess up a happy home.
Really upset
Okay?
that I did that.
Before we take a break, true or false? So you become a star on Broadway with the Tap Dance Kid, and you catch the attention of Michael Jackson because he became a fan of your dancing?
Well, it was a combination of him seeing, he hadn't seen me on Broadway, but he had seen the commercials. Mm-hmm. The director of the Pepsi commercial, Bob Giraldi, I had worked with doing a different commercial.
Okay.
It was the Church of Latter-day Saints, Mormon church commercial I did. And then Michael Jackson's choreographer, Michael Peters, directed the commercial for the Tap Dance Kid.
Okay.
And both of them said to Michael and to Pepsi, we got a kid that would be perfect for this commercial.
Unbelievable.
And they both basically said my
does it
name
again.
and then called me up and just offered me the job.
I was
Alfonso
hoping
Ribeiro strikes again. Unbelievable. I've been auditioning my whole life.
Listen, why do I walk around and why am I
happy.
always like
You're
people
grateful.
happy?
That's right.
It's because, I mean, when you think of it in these terms, you go, no, I'm really lucky. Right?
But you're
I'm
also,
so
but you also,
lucky.
you get the opportunity, but you also deliver. You
Delivers,
also
yeah.
have the talent to reward the people's faith in
Exactly.
you. So it's not all.
It's not all, but when you think about how many people are incredibly talented that you never get to meet
Yeah,
or
that's
ever
true.
get to see.
That's very
That's
true.
right. It's not. Yes, there is talent to back it up, but there is also the luck of things happening the right way at the right time. I'll even go to Dancing with the Stars. I wanted to be on Dancing with the Stars from the very beginning, and I mean, it was like a love-hate relationship with them. I'd be like, I love you guys. I love you guys. I hate you guys. You won't put me on. You guys stink. It was like this horrible. And then I was like, no, but I really do love you guys. I mean, it was so back and forth for years. And finally, season 19, I'm the last one casted. Literally.
Is it because you're a ringer, though?
Yes, but I
There's
was
a lot of
actually
ringers.
talking
Yeah,
about
that does
this.
seem
I was
like that's
talking about this
bogus.
inside, right? I said, I'm not a dancer. I know
Haven't
how
met you.
to mimic. No, I'm a mimic, right?
Okay.
Like
Well, that's
like
halfway there, no?
It's well,
listen.
not really, because it's like it's about technique and knowing actually how to dance.
Yeah.
And their position was, yeah, but you're a dancer. I'm like, no. I'm a mimic that can dance.
Yeah, you'd
It's
have to
very
learn
different.
to cha-cha and do all that.
So every week, we would finish the show. The next day, on Tuesday, I would go into the studio with Whitney, and Whitney would say to me, how is it possible that you could be so good last night and suck so badly today? And I would say, because
like it.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
But I work hard. I will work hard to be good, and I won't stop till I'm great.
Let me guess,
But-
Alfonso, because we have to take a break. You ended up winning Dancing.
No,
with
no,
the
he
Stars.
didn't even win
it
Dancing with
was
the Stars.
so
They just
weird.
gave it to him
No,
halfway through the
so
season.
the guy who was supposed to win got struck by lightning, and so they gave it to Alfonso Ribeiro.
All right, we have to take a break. Alfonso Ribeiro is here. The show, by the way, we will get to, I promise,
Yes.
is coming back on the Game Show Network. Alfonso is back hosting Catch 21, which is a lot of fun. More with our guest right after this on KROQ. Every bit of my excitement and anticipation is paying off right now with our guest in
Oh, I
studio.
agree.
Alfonso Ribeiro is here on the Kevin
I wasn't
Bean Show.
excited enough to have Alfonso.
See? Now
I
you
didn't
know,
realize that.
right?
Now I
Now
know.
we feel
you
bad that
Now
we
I
weren't as excited as Bean.
What is wrong with y'all?
We made
We're
fun of him.
very tired.
No, we were excited, but
Yeah,
Bean,
he's
I'm
just
not
not
excited
that
enough.
level.
Bean was the next level, and we were like, dude, calm down, and now we need to step it up.
Bean asked us to put roses on the floor for you to walk on, and I was like, he's cool, but he's not like that cool.
Yeah, no. That would have been awkward. That would have been awkward.
Like, all right,
By the
bud.
way,
very awkward.
And what a voice Alfonso has.
Right?
I sound like such a weenie.
Me too.
On the radio with him. Alfonso, in your 40-year career, as we discussed in the last segment, it seems like you do hosting and directing now, but you no longer act. How come?
You know, here's an interesting thing. So imagine this for a second, and this is a longer story to a quick answer, but doing a role like Carlton on The Fresh Prince, I did it so well that people basically said, you're never allowed to act again.
That's all we want
That's
from
who you are.
Right.
Right? That's who you are. Because you did this role so well, you were so good, you're done.
Don't most actors fight that, though, and try to get another angle going?
Well, yeah, but some people get typecast, some people
yeah,
don't.
of course,
right?
of
But the
course.
ones who do, imagine the painful experience that, wow, I shouldn't have been so good.
Yeah.
I would have a career.
Yeah.
What's that like?
Right?
Well, there are
sucks.
exceptions. There are certainly exceptions, like Henry Winkler. Obviously, is a perfect
That's a
example
rarity,
of someone
right,
who
but
was-
I can throw.
But that's a rarity.
I'll
yeah.
throw Urkel at you, or
Yeah,
people,
right.
yeah, or Small
Right.
Wonder.
Right,
People-
where it's just so difficult to get back in, right?
Yeah. Once
And
you're
so-
Gilligan, you can only be Gilligan.
and
I
Did
get
so-
it.
you say Small Wonder?
Yeah,
like
man.
Vicky?
No one. You didn't see Vicky again. She was a robot.
And it wasn't because she nailed being a robot.
She was good as hell, man.
Yes, she was. And I will just leave it at
All
that.
right.
Let's not ignore Bean's Gilligan
yes.
reference, if you don't mind.
And then once, so now forever, I wasn't just, they just
Now you're
simply
just-
wouldn't cast
now
me,
you're Carlton.
right?
Yeah.
And now I'm living the life as this role, angry at the idea that acting,
I'm more than this.
Yeah.
right, has literally stopped me from being creative. And then I found directing, and then I found hosting.
Yeah.
And once I did Dancing with the Stars and won, ABC came to me and said, what do you want to do?
Oh.
Right? So, do you want to build a TV show, a sitcom? What do you want to do? And I said, I've spent so many years trying to get the world to know that my name is Alfonso Ribeiro
Sure.
and not
Carlton.
Carlton Banks,
Yeah.
that I was like, I don't want to act. I don't want to create a character that people then go, well, let's forget Alfonso Ribeiro again because he's less interesting than this new character that I created, which is why at that moment I was like, I want to do AFV. I want to do a
America's
show
Funniest Home Videos.
where
Yeah.
I can be myself.
Yes.
I can allow whoever I am to come through to America and build me as an individual and not a character. And because there was so much pain involved with that character
I
because
don't like you
of the
being
fact,
in pain, Alfonso. I
right?
don't like this at all.
Well, it was, imagine all of these great things happened, and then I feel pain.
And I imagine it was probably 20 times a day that people came up and wanted you to do the Carlton
Oh,
dance.
absolutely. I mean, I always say I get asked to do the dance every day I leave the house.
Wow.
If I leave my house, and I mean, obviously not just being in the car,
Right.
but some days
Somebody rolls down their
somebody
window.
will
"Do
come
the
on, do the
dance!"
dance. I mean, airports,
You look over at Kevin, he's like crossing stuff
well,
out on
we
his
won't ask him
paperwork."
this. So every day of my life,
Yeah.
right? But the great thing about life is you can go through hard times and come out the back end a better person because of it.
Absolutely. Sure.
Because now I appreciate appreciate what other people are feeling.
Yeah.
Right? So the empathy and the idea that, okay, these people like lived in something that made them feel happy.
Right.
And the idea of me doing that dance makes them happy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can acknowledge their love of that.
But when
right?
you're in the middle of it,
I still ain't doing it.
You ain't doing it. Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
We not doing it, but I can acknowledge their like love and their joy
Sure.
that character.
There
That's a
has.
great perspective.
There must be people who insist, and you just go, "Look, I'm not. There must be people."
Well, you
who
hit
go,
him in the
come
face,
on,
right?
Come
You
on.
just hit him in the face.
Yeah, no.
There have to be those people.
that accept it.
They won't accept no for an answer.
Yeah, there's a ton of them. I just keep walking away.
Yeah.
I just keep moving. You know, just keep swimming, and do the dory.
Well, you transitioned nicely into hosting on one of America's biggest reality shows, America's Funniest Home Videos, and you are back on the Game Show Network with a show that you hosted previously and has just been retooled and is back now on the Game Show Network called Catch 21. It's debuting Monday, October 14th, and it looks like a super lot of fun for you to host.
It is. It's a. I enjoyed it incredibly. Like the first time around, we did 5 seasons, and it was just a blast to do it. It's utilizing a whole different part of my brain when I'm doing this, and most people will never see the amount of work that I have to actually do because I've got to make the episode, make sure that it gets to time, right? So I'm spreading each episode until I know that I can then get fast and do the final act to make sure the episode is long enough because it's a card game where we deal cards to 3 contestants. Right. Then to get the control of the next card, they have to answer a question.
Right.
Well, the first person could have a ace, get the question right, and a king show up.
And they're done.
Game
The
over.
round's over,
Freeze,
right?
yeah.
And
Oh, I
that could
gotcha.
happen 3 rounds in a row,
Yeah.
and now you've got a 7-minute episode.
You got to start rigging this.
Right, so now you're having to talk. No, we have standards and practices.
Okay.
You just got to dance. Just got to
Right?
start tap
But
dancing.
I start having. So I'm doing the math for every person. Right, so it's like if they have a 15, I'm like, you're looking for a 6, you're looking for a 4, you're looking for a 2, and just constantly doing that. And as soon as a card comes up, that would give you a thing, that would give you that, and that would give you that, and I'm doing it for every card throughout the entire.
Allie, this show is your nightmare. There's so
It's
much
my nightmare.
math.
I'm already out because of all the math. But we need to go to Vegas with
Right?
Alfonso.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we shot it in Vegas.
But no, we need to gamble with Alfonso. Is what I'm saying.
I
'Cause he's
sat at
counting
the table.
cards.
Yeah.
I sat at the table once.
And
I left with more than I started.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm pretty good at it.
do you do the math to where I saw an episode? I'm not sure if it was a new one or whatever. I saw
Right.
an episode where the teacher had loved elephants or whatever that was, that guy, and he went for it at the very end of the show when he needed a 6 specifically.
Against
Right.
all
And I was
odds.
thinking, like, that's an 8% chance of
Yeah.
getting that.
Right.
Do you do that in your head and go try
I don't do the percentages.
You don't.
But what I'm doing is I know how many 6s have
You
been
do
played.
know there's only 4 6s in the
Right.
deck.
I know what's
Yeah.
been played.
Right.
So I'm constantly keeping tabs on every card that's
Is there
come
only
out.
one deck?
Well, the
'Cause
old
then it's
version,
easy to count.
The
The
old
old
version,
version.
there was one deck until you got to the final round. This time around, we have a new deck shuffled and cut every round.
I got you. That makes sense.
So it makes it harder. It also makes it where you get a really good player who knows the math and knows how to count cards. That person has a huge advantage over the next person.
And then you guys, like, break
so
his
we
hand
kind
with
of
a hammer,
level the
right?
playing field a little bit.
You're not allowed to do that. Yeah, you got to take him to the back and knock him out.
Hey, man, I saw that you counted that was a third 6. How did you know that was 6 was coming?
By the way,
We
the
gotta
guy
take
that I
him back.
saw hit the 6. That's what he
I know.
needed and won $25,000.
Right,
That
yeah.
was crazy to me.
But
I was
that
like, don't
happens.
do it. What's wrong with you? Oh, great.
It happens.
Fantastic.
It happens again.
It does.
Several times
Wow.
on this season.
Only one card would work for that.
Yes, and they
Crazy.
went for it. They're like, and you were sitting there going, because obviously we're shooting 6 episodes a day. We like,
Yeah.
you idiot.
And then
What
they
are
win.
you doing?
And the show is
the card
called
comes and
Catch
it's like
21.
boom, they caught 21, and you're like, unreal,
Unbelievable.
That was the dumbest great decision you've ever
Yes,
made.
agreed.
Catch 21 airs starting Monday, October 14th on the Game Show Network. Jensen, do we have time to play your tape?
I mean, it's up to you, man.
I think I want to. I know we're running a little bit late,
Let's
but
play it.
Alfonso, we came up with
I
some
found
tape
a
yesterday.
tape online.
Okay.
That's great.
That I'm so excited about,
Uh-oh.
and we want you to hear a little bit of it and get your take.
All right,
Telmac presents Alfonso Ribeiro.
yeah.
Hi. I wasn't born a dancer. I learned to do it with a lot of help. And with my help, you can learn too. It's all right here in my breaking and popping book.
The breaking and popping book. How
I
old are
love
you?
it.
Listen,
How old are you, Alfonso?
I was 12.
I
was
love it.
12.
It's so good.
Okay, and the funniest part of that to me always is I'm in that commercial not dancing. It's my brothers.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
My brothers doing all those moves. I could pop a little bit,
Yeah.
right? But all that breakdancing, I couldn't do anything.
No way.
Oh,
That's a dude
no.
straight up windmilling.
Yeah,
That's your brother?
That's my brother. That was my brother Ricky doing the windmills, and I'm like,
amazing.
yes. Oh,
It
no,
wasn't even his cardboard on the ground.
Another stroke of luck by Alfonso Ribeiro.
Damn him.
Let's hear
Yeah,
a
but
little
they
bit
sold
more.
like 7 boxes.
Oh,
It
okay.
wasn't,
Listen,
Hang on a sec.
Almost 100 pages that simply and clearly take you through the moves. In a few minutes, you could be doing backspins that will flip out your friends.
If you're my brother.
Or eye-popping moves like the centipede. And tell Mom and Dad, it's the safe way to break and pop.
It's the safe way to
It's
break
the
it pop.
safe-
Could you
yes.
do the centipede,
So
Alfonso?
sweet.
Yes. No, I can do the centipede.
Okay.
I can do the
Centipede's
centipede.
cool.
That
All
was
right.
easy, though. That's like... That's easy.
That's 101.
Big finish coming
And
up.
I could pop, but the windmills and all
No,
those
no,
real
brother.
stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I was
Tough
like,
stuff.
I could do a bad backspin, right? It was
Okay.
like, but yeah, that's the funny part of all this. It's
Not
called
the things you shouldn't
marketing.
try. Plus, you get the right kind of music. Rap attack.
Hey, you, it's a right steady groove.
If you like Volume 1, Volume 2 is radical.
Radical.
Right, only
Rat-
$19.99.
wow.
Due to incredible demand, COD orders are impossible. Have your mom or dad order one now.
Impossible.
COD orders are impossible.
Thanks for asking,
That
though.
can't be real. That can't be real.
That is real.
They said that in the
Yeah, pulled
Wow.
it directly from the thing. And it's funny because you're
Wow.
like, they sold 7 of them.
Yeah,
They were like 2 popular
The order,
CODs.
it is, yeah, listen, marketing,
great.
marketing
I
101.
love it.
Tell them how
All
great
right.
this is.
America's funniest home videos on ABC. Don't forget, and the Game Show Network's Catch 20. And Alfonso, you have brightened up our whole day. Thank you so much for coming by.
Guys.
Great to meet you, sir.
Love being with you guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.